Now, what is the correct way to pronounce your stage name?
It's Mafi D. Mafi. A lot of motherfuckers be like, Mafi D. I don't like that shit. It's Mafi without the A. Mafi.
People do mispronounce it, but do they misspell it as well?
Nah, it's pretty easy to spell. It's just, you feel me? It's just Mafi is short. You know what I'm saying? Mafi, but a lot of motherfuckers, it's like they want to call me Mafi D, but it's like, you see it written, you know what I'm saying? There ain't no A in that motherfucker. It's Mafi.
And what is it short for?
Mafia.
Now, where did this stage name of yours derive from? What are the details of its origin?
Shit. My pops, really. My pops, he was in the streets and shit, and he had a group of niggas that was just running around. They called themselves the Mafia Clique, so I had got myself in some shit, caught a case, and while I was in there, I was just thinking about, you know, what a nigga wanted to do when he got out. And I ended up getting on the halfway house from the feds, and I made the record label, Mafia Clique Records. And at the time, I was going by Lil D, but you feel me? I was just thinking like, shit, I'm gonna be a grown man soon. I can't be little forever. So I just took Mafia and took the A off it and started calling myself Mafi D, and I just ran with that shit.
And what does D stand for or short for as well?
My name, Derek.
Now, when it comes to your birth name,
Mm-hmm.
do you know why you were named this and who named you this?
I'm named after my dad. Yeah, I'm a junior.
And did you have any other nicknames growing up?
Lil DJ, Baby, Junior, Lil D. That's about it though.
Little DJ, what does the J in that stand for?
My last name. And that's my dad's hood name. He's Big DJ, so I'm named after him. So, you know, the hood and my family and everybody that know my pops, all my unks from the neighborhood, that's what they call me.
And some of these other nicknames that you've also provided, was there anybody in particular that coined any of those?
My pops, shit, that's about it. Really, Lil D just came from, when I started getting in the streets and shit, I kind of wanted to just drop the J, because I didn't want to follow. A lot of motherfuckers already knew who my pops was, you know, so I kind of wanted to just create my own name, my own lane, you know?
Now, for you, when it comes to this stage name, you incorporated your nickname, which was also something to do with your real name,
Yeah.
as part of your stage name. But there's some recording artists that stay away from this stuff. They have a name that has nothing to do with their real name. Was that ever a thought for you as well?
Nah, I can't really get, I mean, if it makes sense to them, by all means, shit, go for it. But I kind of like try to stay away from the gimmicks. I'm just trying to keep this shit as organic as possible.
Because people do mispronounce this stage name of yours, was there ever a thought on changing it?
Nah, never. That's what my town know me as. That's gonna be the legacy right there. I ain't changing that.
And what town is this you're referencing here?
Seattle.
And when it comes to your stage name, what's the craziest thing that's ever happened with it?
With my name?
Yes, anything out of the norm, perhaps. Maybe your name was misspelled on a flyer to a big event, for example.
My name, yeah, that. My name misspelled, or yeah, that for sure. My name being misspelled on the flyer. Mafia. That's the same shit I was just saying. Putting Mafia on there. That's probably the craziest shit that happened with my name.
What about name being mispronounced at a major event?
It's all in the same shit. If a person call me Mafia, it's like, that ain't my fucking name, you know? But sometimes I just be like, man, I'll let them get away with it if I'm in the moment. But sometimes you gotta correct a nigga, because your name is your brand. You know what I'm saying? So, nigga, get that shit right.
And speaking of your brand, there's music, obviously under this stage name. But was there also music under a previous stage name?
Yeah, there was only like, I did an album under Lil D. Yep, I did, for sure. Lil D, the album was called Self-Motivated.
And is that still publicly available for
Yeah,
those in the audience?
It's still available right now, yeah. But that's probably like the last thing I did under that moniker, you feel me? After that, it was just like, nigga, that's when I started that's when I caught my case, and the Mafi D came after that.
And did you want to shed any more light on that case of yours that you're referencing here as well?
I mean, yeah, it's old now. I was just I was selling, you know, heroin and shit. Got caught up in a federal sting. But they didn't catch me right, you know what I'm saying, when I sold to the undercover. They waited. And they let me, you know, of course, what they do, they let you go and rack up more shit and follow up on you. And of course, when they did finally catch up to me, I had more drugs and a gun on me. Then I was going through pretrial and all that shit. And they didn't have a deal for me for the drugs. So the only deal they had was towards a gun, and I was young and stupid. My mom always told me, like, boy, don't get in no trouble, so when you get older, get your gun license. You feel me? And now I look back on it, I regret that shit. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I could have fought it, maybe I could have, but you know, I took a gun charge for yeah. I took a federal gun charge.
And what age was this when that took place?
19.
And that was a felony.
Yeah.
And has that case been closed?
Yeah,
it's over with?
Yeah, that's long. Yeah, that's long gone, for sure. That was like 2015, 2016, around there.
And how much time did you serve for that?
I did a year. Yep. I ain't really had no background. I ain't really them go to jail type of nigga, so I did a year.
And that was a year fighting it or a year as the sentence?
The sentence, yeah.
And care to share where you were stationed for that time?
Shit, just right there in SeaTac, the federal facility in Seattle, Washington, FDC.
Now that the case is over with, has that charge been expunged? Is it able to be expunged?
No, it's not expunged. I was hearing some shit like when you got a federal charge or something, I think you got to get like a pardon or something, or you got to pay a certain type of money. I've been looking into it, but because I for damn sure want it off my record. I want to have that thing on me legally. You know, it's too much shit's going on here out here not to have that shit. So I definitely want to see what's going on, you know what I'm saying? For sure.
And just for clarification, when it comes to that stage name of yours that was previously used for music as Little D, when that name change happened for you, again, for clarification, was that you that made that judgment call?
Yeah, that was me, yeah.
Okay. It wasn't suggested by others to change it? That was just...
Nah, that was just something I was just thinking about. That was all off the top of the head, and I just ran with that shit. And then after pushing it for so long, everybody else started running with it too. So it just stuck, you know?
Now, that nickname that was your stage name was based off of your father.
It was based off my dad, but when I started getting in the streets, my damn self, because I told you they called me Lil DJ. But I just like, I'm just, you know, it's a Lil D, so I could just make my own name. It came from my dad, but I'm just like, I didn't want to be accepted because of my pop, you know what I'm saying? So I just started rocking with Lil D.
And the reasoning for this question was, when you did make that name change musically, wanted to know what your father thought.
Oh, man, my pop, he didn't even... In the beginning, he didn't give a shit. He didn't care. He was not taking his music shit. He didn't give a fuck. He didn't even want to hear about it. He did not want to hear about it.
And even though this has been branded for a significant length of time, relatively speaking, are there any stage names you wish you could have changed it to, looking back now?
Nah, I feel like this is what it's supposed to be.
Anything else you want to mention about your stage name or a question you weren't asked, people want to know about it?
Nah, I feel like we touched on it.